Hi, since I published yesterday's video, I have received lots of messages asking me about the circumstances and how come I went there to rescue Kika. Okay, well, the thing is that as many of these cases, usually I get a tip-off by the police or by the authorities, and in this case, it was the mayor's office who asked for my help. Okay, it turned out that Kika is 12 years old. Okay, this family bought her or acquired her 12 years ago. When she became 1 year old, she was put on the roof. So she's been on that roof for 11 years. 11 years. In 2016, a neighbor, really sick and tired of seeing her on that roof, also noticed that she was developing this mass, a tumor. Apparently, there have been many police reports over the years, many. But every time the police went there and they saw that she had a little doghouse and she had water and she had some food, and that was it. They considered the situation that it was okay. And this is the problem with this country. You see, until very recently, all those situations were not regulated. So we have very weak laws, and circumstances like the situation in which Kika was living, this is considered okay. Now, for you and for me and for everyone with a little bit of brain, this is clearly an injustice and a crime, but not for the laws here, until recently. Lately, these things have started to change, the laws are becoming stronger, and there are now ordinances in the villages and in the municipalities where this kind of situation is considered illegal. And this is why the authorities here contacted us and say, look, we have the situation, we want this dog to be removed, and this family will be willing to give the dog to you. Will it be okay? Will you take her? I say, yes, of course I did. So we went to the house, and I was really shocked by the coldness of those people. They really didn't care at all. The moment I saw her, I started asking some questions, and immediately I was lied upon. They say that the mass started barely a few months ago. This is a complete lie. There's been reports of this since 2016. They say that the dog had been living there for about a year. This is also a complete lie. There's been reports of the dog living there for the last 11 years. So I was really shocked, and but I really couldn't engage. I couldn't have an argument with these people. What would be the point? My main priority was to get Kika out of there and into the hospital right away. So this is how it happened, and this is what you saw in yesterday's video, and this is why you saw me filming the owner. You know, my intention was just get the dog out of there, take her to the hospital, and then we'll see what we do. I will be telling you about this because this is not going to end like this. There's going to be prosecution here. But my first priority was to save Kika. I also wanted to elaborate on a point that I think you will, I mean, if you reflect upon it, you will see how interesting is human nature. Do you remember about a few years ago, we rescued a dog called Ava? Okay, Ava was coming from a house. She had been neglected for many years. The dog had been developing this tumor in the face. The family did nothing, and they only contacted us when it was too late. Ava came to the hospital, we did tests, we did a CT scan. It was too late for her. There was nothing we could do. She was euthanized. Now, consider this in comparison with Kika's case. Kika lived on top of a roof for 11 years. She developed a tumor. For many years, the family did nothing until they finally, when it was too late, they contacted us. We went to rescue her. So it is actually the same story than Ava. I mean, luckily for Kika, we've arrived just in time. So she's going to be operated tomorrow. But there was a crucial difference. Visually, okay? Whereas in Ava's case, the tumor was on the face. People saw it, they were so sad, they donated, they shared, and even today, still one of our most watched videos. In the case of Kika, the reaction hasn't really been the same. Very few people have helped, very few people have donated, and the reason is because the tumor, the mass, is on the backside. You know, call it human nature. I don't know why that is, but we're fascinated by anything that has to do with the face, that is visual. We look, we stare. But when something has to do with the backside, we just look away. We don't look. So in this case, her vagina is affected by the tumor, you know, her rectum is affected by the tumor. So we just don't want to look, because in our prude minds, it is disgusting. These are the private parts of the animal. So when we have a case of a dog that has suffered so much, but is so unlucky that the tumor happened to be on her private parts, I mean, as much privacy as a dog can have, then we don't look, we look away because he's in the back. Just think about it. Think about it. So in the end, I mean, what does this, how do we have to do this? So we can't rescue black dogs because people will look away because they're black. So if the dog has an injury in the back or has a tumor in the back, then also no, people will not help because it has a tumor in the back. It's crazy, huh? It's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, I'm laughing because thank God we have some great supporters and people, you know, they stick by us and our cases. But think about it. If you have to choose which dog to rescue based on the exact position of the injury or the disease, okay, so if the dog has something in the ears, that's okay. If it has something in the back, no. If the dog is black, no. If the dog is white, yes. Can you imagine? I mean, but this is unfortunately what social media is forcing us to. I mean, it's not forcing us to do anything because we will never comply with anything like this. That's why we rescue black dogs, and that's why we rescue dogs with tumors on the backside, because it's the right thing to do. But you know that when you have a dog with an injury on the back, people are gonna look away. If it's a dog and it has an injury on the penis, people will definitely not help. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. So I just wanted you to reflect upon this little fact, which is really sad, but it's at the same time quite enlightening and is quite descriptive of human nature. You know, we're so strange. We're so strange. I was gonna say we're so funny, but it's not funny. It's actually quite sad. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being here. Tomorrow we will be operating Kika. Surgery will be quite early in the morning. It's a Saturday, and you know, we don't really like to have surgeries on the weekends, but this has to be done tomorrow. So please, if you can, give us a hand. Kika needs your help, and so do we. So please, if you can, consider becoming one of our sponsors. There's a Patreon page here. You can go there, select the level of support that you can give us on a monthly basis, and join us. There's going to be a massive surgery tomorrow. This is a huge tumor, and it's in the back. But please, help us. We need you. Please join us on Patreon. Thank you.